You should choose random niches and find trends to build your Etsy shop from. What do you think on that? True or false?
False. And we actually just got a comment, Scott, that said the biggest challenge I see when people open a business, whether it's online or brick and mortar, is that they want to be everything to everybody. Niching down is key. And that, I think, is the thing that a lot of people are missing in this like niche versus product debate, right? When we were just talking about niches being competitive, right? One of the things, especially in the Etsy world, that I see people saying is, oh, selling t-shirts is competitive. T-shirts aren't a niche. T-shirts are a product. Who is the person that is buying that t-shirt, right? That is your niche. If it's a fishing t-shirt, fishing is the niche. And if we focus on that, we're much more quickly and easily able to scale our business. So I would say, Scott, this is absolutely false. Can you find trends in your space and pursue them? Yes. Should you go after random trends? No. Why? Because they are trends. Definitionally, they are going to go away, right? Theoretically, Scott, could somebody stop being interested in fishing? Yes. Is all fishing interest going to go away in our lifetimes? Right. Unless all the fish go away, no, right? There's still going to be people who are interested in that. So if we're chasing a trend, be it a very specific design, be it a funny cultural moment, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock t-shirt or whatever, right? Like, that is going to wane over time. What's not going to wane over time is interest in a niche. And if we can focus on that, especially a niche that we're passionate in, then we're able to create a sustainable business, which is really what this should be about. If you're just selling on Etsy to make a couple bucks, then maybe you do that. But if you're looking to replace your 9-to-5 income, or you're looking for something to help offset your retirement or to help pay medical bills or whatever this is, you want that sustainable long-term income. The other thing with this is, it's a lot less competitive to not have to chase the trend. Oh, and your work multiplies over time, right? So if we spend all day creating a trend following product, when that trend goes away, we've lost that work. If instead we have a niche that we are passionate about, not just a random thing that we don't care about, but a niche that we are truly passionate about, right? For example, we're really passionate about weddings or whatever it is, then we have the ability to create evergreen products that are going to create that sustainable revenue. And we have sustainable energy in that niche to continue creating products, right? So it's not something that we are going to get burned out on, and it's not something where the products are going to get burned out. So I would say anybody that's saying chase, launch a product in a random niche, just throw up anything or chase a trend, I would say that's bad advice, and that is false.
Yes, could you jump on one of these and it could take off? Sure, but it's probably going to go away. And then guess what? You're going to try to find that next golden ticket, if you will. And I don't like building a business in that way, because you're not really building a business. And not to mention, when you have a customer that comes in that buys that one t-shirt or that one mug that you were able to get that thing to take off for a little while, those people aren't ever going to probably buy from you again, because it's not similar. It's not related. So for me personally, I think that's bad advice. I would not follow that advice. And again, that's our opinion. That's what we, that's what we live by. And also it just makes it so much easier to now know that you can just focus on that one niche. And even if it's that one sub niche, and then you're going to level up a little bit and kind of start to branch out, like the wedding niche, like we were just talking about. If we start there with bachelorette parties and we're going to make our shop kind of start honing in on that, that doesn't mean that that's all we're ever going to sell to the wedding market. But to me, it makes a lot more sense to build a product line from products that are going to be selling now, but well into the future.
We had a question that's kind of related to this, right? That is, if you're new, can or should you do trends just to get your first few sales? What are your thoughts on that versus building a store around trends? Should you jump on a trend if you're new to try to get some momentum?
So if we're going to go after a trend, is that trend something that is in your niche that you want to get started in? So you have to think longer than just if that product starts to sell well. You have to think about what comes next. What's the next product you're going to sell that customer? At least that's how I think. So I'm not going to be just looking through. I mean, I have the same tools that you guys have, right? And the main one that I'm using is Everbee, and I go in there all the time, and I do research videos for YouTube, right? To help people understand how to do product research. But even though I'm finding these really cool products and I would love to be able to have the sales that they have, I'm also keeping myself disciplined to say, but you're not going to do that because, yeah, if you had that one product and you're able to compete with that person that's doing really well, which is going to also take work. So if you see a product that's selling very well, you need to understand in order to compete with them, you got to get some sales out of the gate pretty quickly. And a lot of times it's going to take some Etsy ads, maybe some Facebook ads and things like that. But my personal thought is if it's something that's trending in my niche, then yes, I will definitely consider that. But if I'm just starting and I'm looking at stuff that's trending, I'm going to say, okay, is that something that I'm going to be able to tap into? But then also, am I going to be able to build a brand around it after the trend kind of dies down?
The one area where I would be really careful with that is for new shops, right? Like the exact wrong time to try to chase a trend is when you are a new shop. Why? Definitionally, a trend is something that a lot of people are interested in. Trends definitionally have a lot of interest. That also means there's a lot of people creating products for that trend, right? If you are a new store, it is harder for you to compete with the people who have the resources, the sales history to crank out a bunch of products related to that trend. So the same amount of time and effort that you're going to put in as a new store to hopefully get some sales on that new trend, right? You could put into evergreen products that are easier to rank for and are going to bring you sales forever. I would rather see you put that time and effort there, right? I would rather see you make one sale a day for the next 2 years on a product that you put that time and investment in than 60 sales over the next month and then nothing after that.
Always be thinking about, are you going to be able to sell more to that same customer? And that is huge. And that might be a writer downer, because if you start to think along those lines, now you have a customer that has purchased from you that might buy from you again in the future. So now that people are favoriting your shop, they're favoriting your items, and now you put up a new listing, they're going to get notified of that. And now they're interested in that, rather than you just saying like, well, I was able to jump in on a trendy product and I'm getting some sales right now, but you're not going to be able to do nothing with it later. So it's really a short-term mindset, in my opinion.
Are holidays trends? And should we create products for holidays? True or false?
Yes, you should create holiday type products for your niche. Now, let me say that again, for your niche. Don't go after St. Patrick's Day stuff in a completely different niche if you're not in there, right? Just because you see that, oh, well, they're really selling well, so I should probably do that. But yes, you should be planning. And I actually did a full video on this, on how to really do some holiday hacking and how to really plan out all of those holidays and do it 30, 60, 90 days ahead of time. Once you get a catalog of products, inventory that you did for this year, well, guess what? Next year, it's in there and it's ready to sell again. So yes, I definitely would be tapping into the holiday hacking strategy for sure.